Hey everyone, welcome back to Shapeshifter's Den. This is Shifter here with a question for you. Have you ever had, or do you currently have, muscle and joint pain simply because you pushed your training just a little bit too hard? Well, if so, then welcome to the club. The journey to movement mastery requires us to step outside our comfort zones on a routine basis, and minor injury is simply a part of this game. Yet suffer not. You're about to embark on a recap of lessons learned from a senior member of the Pushed My Training Just a Little Too Hard club. So sit back, O lover of movement, and learn of ancient secret teachings uncovered in dusty chalk-filled gyms and 1,000 outdoor adventures. And be troubled by injury no more. But first, basically, you went and tore something. Whether it's the micro tears that we commonly call sore muscles, or the larger tears that we tend to call sprains, strains, tendinitis, or whiplash, it all pretty much means that you have torn the connective tissue in your body. In fact, even muscle growth is caused by these tears. It's the stress the body needs in order to trigger the adaptation to a stronger state. It only becomes an injury when you've torn more than you can quickly heal. The connective tissue you have torn could be muscle, which heals relatively quickly, or tendon, which heals relatively slow due to having much less blood flow. However, the plan of attack remains the same either way. Avoid and heal the tears in the connective tissue. What follows are different phases of training experience that I've had throughout my life, and what each has taught me about mastering the problem of injuries. Early in my athletic life, I found myself in the gym lifting weights a lot. I was young, it was high school, and it was a lot more about impressing girls and hanging out with friends than it was about anything else. And while for the most part I no longer use weights, it was a phase of my athletic life that was riddled with minor injuries and very important life lessons. One of my earliest injuries was a constantly strained shoulder. I'd been to the doctor a few times but received absolutely no useful help. Luckily, the answer came from an old powerlifter in my gym who was looking to help some of the younger men to avoid a possible tear of the rotator cuff. And it turned out to be very simple. It was all about muscle balance. My chest and front deltoids had simply been worked too hard, and the opposing muscle group, my back and rear deltoids, had not been worked hard enough. The result was a strength imbalance and shoulders that awkwardly rolled forward as I walked. I backed off the chest workouts a bit and added shoulder stretches and some extra back work. In short, balance was restored and the pain disappeared. Another method that proved extremely useful is static and negative lifting. In particular, this was a lot of help with tendinitis and strength rehabilitation after an injury. As an example, imagine you had pain in a bicep tendon. After a week or two of rest, you hit the gym again, and it's painful to contract your bicep during a curl still. So forget the normal curl, and instead, try a static lift by contracting the muscle without actually moving the weight. Or try a negative lift, in which you control the weight as you slowly lower it, avoiding the often painful contraction phase of the lift. Both of these methods help drive blood into the muscle, build strength, and are very easy on injured tissue. The last technique I'm going to mention from my gym days is foam rolling. This is a method of self-massage that is very easy to do, and it only takes a few minutes. It's great at releasing tension in sore muscles, and it helps to unstick the connective tissue that tends to get bound up in and around our muscles during exercise. For me, this worked really great on my legs especially. After a tough leg workout, I would do some foam rolling, and as long as I did that, my muscle soreness dropped by anywhere from 60 to 80%, honestly. And as a refinement of basically this same process, check out trigger point therapy. It's a way of pinpointing exactly where in each muscle you need to massage in order to get the best effect for the whole muscle. I've had amazing success with it, and it is easily among the best short-term solutions to injury pain that I have ever tried, so be sure and check it out. At age 14, I walked into a boxing gym, and thus began my first true athletic love affair. However, boxing can be a cruel and unforgiving mistress. Damage and injury to the body are practically built into the sport, as it is in all combat sports. But have no fear. A few sage-like truths have been passed down by warriors of the past that will set your muscles free and put your aching body at ease. If you have ever been involved in combat sports, you'll notice one thing very quickly. It hurts like hell to get hit when you're tense. It jars the whole body, and on top of that, it makes you slow and predictable. For the answer to this, we can turn to Bruce Lee's famous advice: be like water. The ability to remain loose and relaxed during intense activity makes you fast, improves reaction speed, and makes getting hit feel so much more tolerable. If you have ever heard of rolling with the punches, it's the same general idea. You don't want to resist the punch. You want to flow with it and take all of the sting out of it. And this applies equally to all athletic movements. You need to be flowing with the activity, not resisting it with unnecessary tension. This second technique goes hand in hand with the first. Be present in whatever you are doing. You are way more likely to be injured playing in a pickup game of basketball if you're also thinking about the fight you had with your girlfriend, or about the bills, or about your car. You must empty your mind and bring all of your awareness to the present and to what you are doing. You'll be shocked at how much more efficient you will become and how much less likely you are to get injured when you are simply present in your body with what you are doing. Now, this piece of advice doesn't always seem to be popular, but of everything I'm going to share with you today, I don't know if any of it has helped me more than this one simple piece of advice. Eliminate processed sugar from your diet. Sugar negatively affects your muscles, tendons, and general health in so many ways I couldn't possibly cover them all in one video. But I'll quickly share two with you just so you can get the idea. First, sugar taxes your liver as much as alcohol and has been shown to create non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, and pretty quickly at that. Your muscles and joints are nourished by your liver. Your liver pumps out an extra liter or so of blood every time you start intense activity. Without it, your muscles and tendons don't get enough blood and they remain stiff, decreasing your performance and making injury many times more likely. Also, when your blood sugar gets high, your body needs something to do with all those excess sugar molecules that it can't process. So it does something called glycation, where it literally sticks the sugar molecules to the proteins in your connective tissue, making them weak and malformed. And by connective tissue, I mean muscles, tendons, and fascia, all of which experience this cellular level attack on their structure by having excess sugar in your system. The second piece of advice is thrown around a lot, and that's for good reason. Drink lots of water. I feel like this advice is constantly underestimated, but it is much easier to stay loose and relaxed if you are well hydrated. Dry muscles are brittle muscles, nutrients which your body needs in order to grow, repair, and function properly. Which leads me to my next bit of advice. Be sure to eat a highly nutritious diet. And I don't just mean your macros. I mean vegetables, fruits, organ meat if you can handle it. This should be a no-brainer, but nothing teaches like experience, and I've trained on a low nutrient diet as well as a high nutrient diet. And my performance, stamina, focus, and ability to heal all predictably skyrocket when I'm on a high nutrient diet. To keep this file from getting too big, I went ahead and broke it up into two parts. To get to the second video now, just go ahead and click the button on your screen. If you would like to further explore any of the methods that we've talked about in part 1 of the video so far, just check down below in the description box. I'll be sure to put some helpful links and resources.